Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I am Kenya with BK Trading Academy, and in today's video, we're going to talk about how to create a profitable trading plan. So I'm going to give you some tips. You can pause this video and take note or rewatch it as necessary as often, and we'll go ahead and hop right into it. Before we do, be sure to like this video, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our content. We do have a trading academy where we help new and struggling traders. We also have a free Telegram, a free Discord, and lots of other great stuff, profitable strategies, training manuals you can learn from. So check out the description of this video and let's go ahead and hop right in. So let's discuss, how do you build a profitable trading plan? The very first thing that you always want to do is when you start out crafting a plan. Now you can do this inside of a Word document. You can even buy templates. There are templates you can go and buy on the market. You can simply Google trading plan template. You can go on Amazon or another store where you can find templates to buy, or you can simply just use a Word document. Okay, we actually have a trading plan template that we provide. It's very affordable on our website at bktradingacademy.com. And simply in your template, you always want to start with your reason for why you're trading. So that's number one. Why are you trading? Because you need to have a big enough why to keep you going when you have those down moments, because you will have them and you will have a lot of them, but you're also going to have a lot of rewarding moments as well. So during that time when you might find yourself feeling discouraged or questioning why you're doing this, you need to have a why that is strong enough to keep you going. So make sure you know that. What is your end goal? And stay focused on that goal. Number two, you want to define the market that you're trading. So there's lots of financial markets that you can trade. So are you going to trade stocks? Are you going to trade crypto? Are you going to trade Forex? Are you going to trade options? Define whatever market you're going to trade and stay focused on that particular market. Now, at this point in my career, I trade multiple markets. I don't do a whole lot, but I have different strategies for the different markets that I trade. But as a beginner, I really feel that it's important and also wise to stick with one market, master something and get really good at it, and then move on to other things later on. But in the beginning, you don't want to be trading currencies and stocks and commodities. It's just doing way too much. And they all are very similar, but they function a little bit different. The third thing is that you want to define your trading style. So in my opinion, it's best to stick with one trading style, either be a scalper, an intraday trader, a swing trader, or a position trader. In the beginning, especially as a developing trader, if you're trying to do scalping and you're also trying to swing trade, it's just too much. So I recommend that you stick with one trading style and get really good with that one trading style. If you are struggling, it doesn't mean that you're a bad scalper. You probably are just not at a level of efficiency yet. You're growing and you have to allow yourself to grow. But if you start to notice that, you know what? As a scalper, I'm stressed all the time when I'm trading. I don't like feeling this way. There are certain things you're starting to notice that you don't like about it, and there's more negatives than positive. Then you probably need to switch your trading style. But you define your trading style based on your personality, your availability. So for example, in the beginning of my career, I could not hold a trade. I could not hold a trade for longer than, I don't know, a couple hours. It just drove me crazy. I didn't like watching my profits be profitable and then go negative. But also, too, my level of understanding of the market was very limited as I was a new trader growing. So now that I've come a long way and I've put in a lot of work and years and so much work, just so much history and data that I've reviewed and learned from, I've learned a lot. And now I know how to trade the longer time frames and be comfortable with that. And I have a profitable method in doing it. But early in my career, I didn't have that. So you might find yourself in that position as well. I think that a lot of traders realize that they grow over time, and how you start out is not necessarily how you keep going or how you will end up. So just know that when it comes to choosing a trading style, it's best to start with one and stay with it, stick with it, give it some time. And if you're unsure of what your trading style is, just ask yourself a few questions. For example, when are you going to be trading? What's the best time that you trade? Let's say you have a lot of screen time and you like putting on frequent trades. You have flexibility of your schedule. it doesn't bother you to place multiple trades in a day, then scalping would be something that would probably fit you. But if you are busy, for example, you travel, you own a business, or you have multiple businesses, or you have a job where you're traveling, or you're just constantly not able to be on a computer, on a screen, then swing trading might best suit you because you don't have to look at that trade constantly. You have some flexibility to be able to look at it and then take your eyes off of it for hours, let it do its thing, you set it and forget it, and then you come back to it and you're okay with that. So you just have to figure out your approach in terms of how to make yourself profitable with that kind of style. And over time, you start to figure that out because that's what I had to do. In the beginning, I felt that, you know what, I'm such a great scalper. And I would compare myself, for example, to my husband, where our styles were totally different. He was a swing trader, still is, and I was a scalper. And I just saw that I was really good at making money really quickly. Like I would make what he'd make in a day, and I'd do that in a shorter period of time. So in the beginning, that didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me to swing trade, but I saw that it was suitable for him because he was really good at it. And he wasn't, I would honestly say, as stressed as I was, because even though I was really good at scalping, there are times where it still is a little bit stressful, even when you're controlling your risk. It can be a little bit stressful. But as you become really good at risk management, then I feel like a lot of that takes care of itself. But anyway, you will learn what your trading style is. It just takes time. I know for myself now, as a developing trader, I love swing trading. I do less scalping now, which is crazy. I do more swing trading, less scalping. And I just love having flexibility to not have to always look at my computer or my phone. Okay. So it will come. Now, the fourth thing that you need to have in your trading plan that is really important is your checklist for entry. Why are you getting into the market? And this is what I find that a lot of traders don't have, or they're kind of all over the place. You want to know what are the reasons why you're getting into the market, and they need to be the same rules every single time. So you have to find a profitable trading system that's been tried and tested, either your own, where you've back tested it and you know that it works during the time that you trade. And then you're going to define those rules. So what is rule number 1, rule number 2, 3, and 4, and why I get into the market? You only really need like 3 good rules to get into the market. And you need to make sure those 3 or 4 rules work over and over and over and over again. So create your rules, and then you want to follow your rules. Number 5, you want to have a checklist for taking profit. So what are the reasons why you would take profits early? What are the reasons why you will let your trades run to the target? Those are things you definitely want to incorporate into your plan, because otherwise you will find yourself questioning yourself all the time as to when you should take profit. But if you have a plan, then you'll feel comfortable with following that plan because, one, you're seeing it play out over and over and over again, and you start to learn to trust yourself when you're letting your trades run. You'll get away from closing your profits too early and letting those losers run. You'll get away from that because when you have a plan and you've seen your plan work, then that will give you the confidence to let it keep working for you. Number 6, you want to have a checklist for cutting losses or how you're going to manage your stop loss. So you want to know, what are your rules for setting a stop? Are you going to risk a percentage of your account? Are you going for a risk to reward ratio? There's different ways that people control their risk, and you have to determine what's best for you. And then when you're in a trade, you have to decide, once the trade is no longer going your way, how are you going to cut a loser, or what determines you cutting a loss? For example, we have particular strategies that we trade with our students, and we follow very specific rules. So we have a price action channel strategy, and based on that particular strategy, when certain rules are violated, then if our stop loss is far away from that, because we tend to put our stop loss away from structure, but if we see that, you know what, this trade is no longer valid, we're out of the trade. No question about it. Why am I thinking about it? I don't have to think about it, because when the rules are violated, that's when we exit the trade. And in terms of our stop loss, you should either be hitting a stop loss or cutting your losses early. There are also moments where you might have gotten better entries, and maybe you had some entries where you entered too soon, but those better entries made up for your drawdown, and now you're just cutting a small loss. That would be a rule that you would put into your trading plan. So make sure you have a checklist for that in terms of how to manage your stop and how to cut your losses. Now, the next thing is your risk plan. This probably should have been actually number one. So your risk plan, this is very important to me. It's my number one priority always when I'm trading. We can't control how much we make, but we can control how much we lose. So you need to decide what your risk plan is. And I guess this kind of goes with the stop loss as well. But what is going to be your risk management approach? And a lot of traders don't have a risk management approach because they're not good at it or they're not educated on how to manage their risk. I do feel there's a lot of technical information out there. It's a little too complicated for people to understand. So I really like keeping things simple when it comes to risk management. And that's what we try to do with our students, is teaching them effectively what has worked for us. And to be honest, no one taught me risk management. I went through programs and people talked about, oh, never risk more than 2% per trade. Okay, so if I risk 2% per trade, what's the cutoff? So before you know it, you're risking 20, 30% of your account and you're over leveraging. So risk management is just not taught effectively in this industry, in my opinion. And eventually I just found what works for me, and that's what I try to teach other people. And for you, you have to find that magic ball of what works for yourself, either through continual research, through hopefully that right course you come across, through a mentor like us, through, let's say you're a student in our academy. A lot of students in our academy have learned our risk management approach and they love it and they see that it works. So you have to have a risk management approach that is explicitly defined and you know exactly what rules you're following in terms of managing your risk. What are the simple things you go through every single day when you're in a trade where you are managing your risk appropriately? So make sure you have that incorporated into your plan. Number 8 is self-evaluation. So how will you measure your performance? How do you know if you're succeeding or if you are failing and need to make some adjustments? So one of the ways that I love to do a self-evaluation is through my trading journal, because my trading journal tells everything. It tells about my mood, my behavior, what was going on at the time that I took the trade. I'm very detailed when I add those notes. And also I can look at illustrations of my trade to see what the trade looked like. Did I enter according to my rules? Did I follow my rules? I get to see everything that my journal should entail. And if my journal does not line up with my rules, for example, if I took a trade and I didn't take the trade according to those entry criteria rules that I went over, then I would understand that that loss is part of my mistake because I didn't follow my rules. So you need to have some type of self-evaluation tool or approach that you're going to allow yourself to be able to measure how you're doing. When are you going to withdraw your profits, for example? What does that look like? So those are just a few tips in terms of building a profitable trading plan and how you can do that with just a few simple areas that I mentioned. Again, you can buy a trading plan template. You can check our website for that. We have a very good one. It's very simple, not too difficult to do. You can just download it and start plugging it in. We give you information. All you have to do is erase what we put or use part of the example that we have and then incorporate your own. And then from there, like I said, go through the different categories I mentioned in this video and make sure that's incorporated into your plan and continue to build on it. So I hope that you found that helpful. Like this video, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss the next video. We have more great content coming for you all. I hope that you found this helpful. I wish you much success in your trading and I will see you in the next training.